But to understand how a family reunion turned into a federal crime scene, I need to take you back 5 years to the phone call that started everything. The call where I made the mistake of believing family meant loyalty instead of opportunity. My name is Jordan Hayes, and I've spent my entire life being compared to my older sister Vanessa and coming up short. Vanessa was everything. Homecoming queen, sorority president, marketing degree from a prestigious university, married at 24 to a lawyer named Brett. She had the big house in the suburbs, 2 perfect kids, the PDA presidency, the designer handbags.
Me?
I was the weird one. The one who spent weekends coding instead of dating. The one who went to state school for computer science. The one who stayed single and focused on career. The disappointment. When are you going to settle down like your sister? Became Mom's favorite question. Vanessa knows what matters in life, Dad would say, usually while Vanessa showed off her latest kitchen renovation or kids' achievements. I learned early that nothing I did would measure up to Vanessa's perfect suburban life. So I stopped trying to compete. I focused on what I was good at, building things with code. I graduated at 22 and got a job at a cybersecurity firm. Starting salary, $75,000. Within a year, I'd identified a critical vulnerability in our system and designed a patch that saved the company from what could have been a massive breach. I got promoted. Then again. By 25, I was a senior security engineer, making $180,000. My family's reaction when I mentioned my salary at Thanksgiving. That seems high for computer work. Are you sure you're not exaggerating? I stopped mentioning work after that. What they didn't know, what I never told them, was that my career was about to explode in ways I'd never imagined. At 26, I was recruited by a major tech company to lead their security architecture team. Salary, $310,000. Stock options, potentially millions. At 27, I detected and prevented a state-sponsored cyber attack that would have compromised millions of user accounts. The CEO personally thanked me. My bonus, $400,000. At 28, I was promoted to Director of Security Engineering. Total compensation, $580,000 annually. I bought a condo in the city. Paid cash, $620,000. I started an investment portfolio. I traveled to security conferences in Berlin, Tokyo, Singapore. My net worth hit $2.1 million. I didn't tell my family any of this.
Why?
Because every conversation about my work was met with glazed eyes and quick topic changes back to Vanessa's kids' soccer games or her latest fundraiser. When forced to acknowledge my existence at family gatherings, Mom would say, "Jordan does computer security. Very technical. We don't really understand it." Vanessa would add, "Must be nice to have a simple life. Just you and your computer. No real responsibilities." So I stayed quiet. I showed up in jeans and sweaters. I drove a practical Subaru. I lived modestly despite the money piling up in my accounts. And then Dad called with an emergency. "Jordan, I need your help. It's urgent." Dad's voice was tight with stress. This was unusual. Dad only called on my birthday, and even then it was usually a 2-minute call. "What's wrong?" "Your mother's medical bills. The insurance denied coverage for her procedure. We're looking at $28,000 out of pocket. We don't have it. The hospital wants payment within 30 days. My mother had needed back surgery. I knew this from Vanessa's Facebook posts asking for prayers, but nobody had called to tell me directly. "I can help," I said immediately. "Jordan, that's generous, but that's a lot of money for someone at your level." "I have it, Dad. I'll wire it today."
Silence.
"Then really? You have $28,000. "Yes. I didn't realize computer jobs paid that well." "They do if you're good at it."
"Well, thank you."
"We'll pay you back as soon as we can." I sent the wire transfer that afternoon. They never paid me back. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was what came next. 2 months later, Vanessa called. This was even more unusual. Vanessa and I spoke maybe twice a year. "Jordan, I need a favor. It's embarrassing, but Brett and I are having some cash flow issues. His law firm is going through a rough patch. We're behind on the mortgage. Just $4,200 to catch up. Could you possibly loan it to us?" just until Brett's next case settles. Vanessa had never asked me for anything. The golden child asking the disappointment for help felt significant.
Of course, I said.
I'll send it today. Thank you so much. You're a lifesaver. We'll pay you back next month when Brett gets paid. She didn't pay me back next month, or the month after. But 6 weeks later, she called again. Jordan, I'm so sorry to ask, but our property tax is due. Another $3,800. Brett's case is taking longer than expected. Could you possibly? I sent the money. Then it was car repairs, $2,400. Then kids' private school tuition, $6,200. Then emergency home repairs, $8,900. Every time it was just this once, and we'll pay you back soon, and things are just tight right now. Over 18 months, I sent Vanessa $89,600. I kept perfect records, every wire transfer, every text message request, every promise to repay. Not because I plan to use them, but because I'm a security engineer. Documentation is what I do. Meanwhile, Dad started calling too. Jordan, the HVAC system died. Needs $7,200. Jordan, the car transmission failed. Need $4,600. Jordan, we're short on property tax again. Need $5,400. I sent every payment. I told myself I was helping family, that this is what you do, that they'd do the same for me. Over 3 more years, I sent my parents $285,000. Total to family over 5 years, $520,000. I was 30 years old with a net worth of $3.4 million, secretly funding my entire family's lifestyle while being treated like the family underachiever. But I didn't mind. Or I told myself I didn't mind. Until the credit card denial. I was at a restaurant with colleagues after a security conference. Nice place. We'd had a successful product launch. I ordered wine to celebrate. My credit card was declined. Confused, I tried another card. Also declined. I excused myself and called my credit card company from the parking lot. Ms. Hayes, these accounts are significantly over limit. That's impossible. I pay them off automatically every month. Let me check your recent charges. I'm seeing purchases in Florida, Texas, California. High-end retailers. Cash advances. Balance transfers. The combined balance across your cards is $187,000. I'm in Seattle. I haven't been to any of those states in months. This is fraud. Let me flag this for investigation. In the meantime, I'll send you the detailed transaction history. The transaction history arrived at 11 p.m. that night. I sat in my condo, looking at the charges, and felt my blood run cold. Neiman Marcus, Dallas. $8,400. The same week Vanessa posted Facebook photos from Dallas visiting friends. Saks Fifth Avenue, Miami. $6,200, matching Vanessa's Instagram post from a girls' trip. Home Depot, same city as my parents. $12,600, the week Dad said they were doing minor repairs. Luxury furniture store, $34,000, delivered to Vanessa's address.
And on, and on, and on.
Someone had been using my credit cards for 2 years. The pattern matched my family's locations, purchases, and shopping habits perfectly. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I made 2 calls. First, to a forensic accountant who specialized in financial fraud. Second, to a private investigator who specialized in identity theft cases. I gave them everything. Every wire transfer I'd sent. Every credit card statement. Every text message from my family requesting money. Find out who's doing this, I told the PI. And find out how deep it goes. It took him 3 weeks. The answer was worse than I'd imagined. The PI's name was Marcus Rodriguez, a former FBI agent who now ran a private investigation firm specializing in white-collar crime. He met me at a coffee shop with 2 thick folders. Ms. Hayes, I need to warn you. What I found is going to be difficult to hear. Just tell me. He opened the first folder. Let's start with the credit cards. 7 cards were opened in your name over the past 4 years. All applications were submitted online using your social security number, mother's maiden name, date of birth, and previous addresses, information readily available to family members. He showed me printouts. The IP addresses traced to Vanessa's home and my parents' home. The cards were mailed to a P.O. box rented by your sister using a fake ID. We have surveillance footage of her collecting the mail. He showed me grainy photos. Vanessa at a post office, opening a P.O. box, pulling out envelopes. The purchases match your family's spending patterns and location data from their phones. Here's your sister in Dallas the same day your card was used at Neiman Marcus. Here's your father at Home Depot the same hour a $12,600 charge appeared. How much total? I asked quietly. From the fraudulent credit cards, $187,000. I felt sick. But he wasn't done. Now, let's talk about the loans. He opened the second folder. 3 personal loans were taken out in your name. Total, $142,000. The loan applications included forged copies of your signature. I compared them to your actual signature from your driver's license and employment documents. They're forgeries, but good ones. He showed me the loan documents. My name, not my signature. The loan funds were deposited into accounts controlled by your father. He then transferred portions to your sister. He opened bank accounts in my name?
No.
He forged your signature on loan applications that deposited funds into his existing accounts. The lenders didn't verify because the credit checks came back clean. You have excellent credit, or you did.
Did.
Your credit score has dropped from 812 to 548. You have $329,000 in outstanding fraudulent debt. Collection agencies are about to start calling. You'll be denied for mortgages, car loans, any credit for years. I stared at the documents. My father's handwriting on forms with my forged signature. Bank statements showing the money flowing from loans in my name into his account, then to Vanessa. There's more, Marcus said quietly. The money you've been sending them, the $520,000 in wire transfers over 5 years, they've been using it to make minimum payments on the fraudulent accounts. Essentially, you've been funding your own identity theft. I actually laughed. It came out harsh and bitter. So I've sent them $500,000, which they used to make minimum payments on accounts they fraudulently opened in my name, stealing another $500,000. A complete circle of theft. Yes. And they did this together? Dad and Vanessa? The evidence suggests your sister opened the credit cards. Your father took out the loans. They both made purchases. Your mother may or may not have known. We found no direct evidence of her involvement, but she certainly benefited from the purchases.
Why?
I asked. Vanessa has the perfect life. The house, the husband, the kids. Why would she need to steal from me? Marcus pulled out another document. Your sister's husband, Brett? His law firm let him go 18 months ago for billing fraud. He hasn't worked since. They're 6 months behind on their mortgage. The bank is foreclosing. The perfect Facebook life? It's all a facade funded by your money and your credit. I sat there, coffee going cold, looking at the evidence of my family's systematic betrayal. What are my options? I asked. File criminal charges. This is identity theft, wire fraud, forgery, mail fraud, all federal crimes. Your father and sister are looking at 5 to 10 years each. Or you eat the loss. Fix your credit over the next decade. Cut them off financially. Walk away. I looked at the photos again. Vanessa at the post office. Dad's forged signatures. The spreadsheet showing $520,000 in wire transfers from me, $480,000 in fraud against me. There's a third option, I said slowly. What's that? The family reunion is in 2 weeks. Everyone will be there. All the relatives who think I'm the disappointing daughter. All the family friends who hear about Vanessa's perfect life. Marcus understood immediately. You want to confront them publicly. I want the truth to come out. In front of everyone. With evidence they can't deny. That's risky. They could get violent. They could. Can you be there? With the evidence. He studied me for a long moment.
Yes.
But Ms. Hayes, This will destroy your family relationships permanently. Marcus, my family destroyed our relationship when they stole $500,000 from me while I was giving them another $500,000. I'm just going to make sure everyone knows the truth. When's the reunion?
2 weeks.
Saturday afternoon. My parents' house, the house I've been paying to maintain. He nodded slowly. I'll be there, but I'm bringing backup. This kind of confrontation can go sideways fast. Bring whoever you need. Just bring the evidence. The Hayes family reunion happened every 2 years at my parents' house. Big event. 50 to 60 people. Extended family, family friends, neighbors who'd known us for years. I'd usually skip it. Listening to people praise Vanessa while ignoring me wasn't my idea of fun. But this year, I RSVP'd enthusiastically. Mom called, surprised. Jordan, you're coming? That's wonderful. Vanessa will be so happy to see you.
Wouldn't miss it, I said. The day arrived.
Sunny Saturday. I drove to my parents' house, the house I'd sent $285,000 to maintain, and parked on the street. The backyard was full. Tables set up. Barbecue going. Kids running around. Adults drinking and laughing. Vanessa was holding court near the pool, talking about her kids' achievements, her latest charity work, her amazing life. She was wearing a designer dress I recognized from the fraudulent credit card charges. $3,200.
I åkte over. I Vanessa.
She hugged me. Jordan, you came. Everyone, this is my little sister Jordan. She works with computers. Polite smiles from her audience. Quick assessment. Single, no kids, probably boring. Still doing the tech thing? Someone asked.
Yes.
Still doing the tech thing. Dad appeared with his reunion speech voice. Time for the annual address where he talked about family values and the Hayes legacy. He stood on the deck, tapped his glass for attention. Everyone, thank you for coming. This family means everything to Margaret and me. We're so proud of the legacy we're building. Successful kids. Beautiful grandkids. A family that takes care of each other. Applause. Vanessa beamed. Dad continued. We've taught our daughters that family comes first. That success isn't just about money, it's about values. About being there for each other.
He looked at me.
Not kindly. Some people forget that. Some people get caught up in careers and money and forget what matters. Some people pretend to be more successful than they are because they're insecure. My aunt whispered something to my uncle. They both looked at me. Jordan, for example, Dad said, his voice taking on an edge. She's been telling people she makes hundreds of thousands of dollars in tech. That she's some big-shot security director. Vanessa jumped in, her voice dripping with concern. It's actually kind of sad. She's so focused on seeming successful that she exaggerates everything. We worry about her. Dad nodded. Stop pretending you're successful, Jordan. It's embarrassing. For you and for this family. Your sister has real success. A family, a home, a life. You just have your computer and your inflated stories. The backyard was quiet now. Everyone watching, waiting for my response. I smiled politely. You're right, Dad. I should stop pretending. He looked satisfied. Vanessa smirked. That's when Marcus Rodriguez walked around the side of the house, carrying 2 folders. Marcus was professional in a suit, with 2 associates behind him. He approached the deck where Dad was standing. Excuse me, Mr. Hayes? I'm Marcus Rodriguez, private investigator. I have some information that pertains to this gathering. Dad frowned.
What?
Who hired you? I did, I said, stepping forward. Because I wanted the truth to come out. In front of everyone. Vanessa's face went pale. Marcus opened the first folder. Let me start with folder 1. Documentation of financial support from Jordan Hayes to this family over the past 5 years. He pulled out a bound document. Held it up so everyone could see. Jordan Hayes has sent $285,000 to her parents Richard and Margaret Hayes. Mortgage payments. Property taxes. Home repairs. Medical bills. Car repairs. Every emergency. Every request. Dad's mouth fell open. That's not. She doesn't have. Additionally, Jordan sent $89,600 to her sister Vanessa Hayes Parker for mortgage, property taxes, school tuition, and various emergency expenses. Marcus displayed the spreadsheet. Total financial support from Jordan Hayes to her family, $520,000. Over 5 years. While being told she was pretending to be successful, the backyard was dead silent. Vanessa found her voice. Jordan, why didn't you tell us? Because you never asked, I said calmly. You just took the money and called me embarrassing. Marcus wasn't done. Now, folder 2. He opened the second folder with a heavy thunk. During the same 5-year period, Jordan Hayes' identity was stolen. 7 credit cards were fraudulently opened in her name. Total charges, $187,000. 3 personal loans were taken using forged signatures. Total loans, $142,000. He pulled out exhibits, credit card applications, the P.O. box surveillance photos, the forged loan documents. The investigation traced all fraudulent activity to 2 sources, Vanessa Hayes Parker and Richard Hayes. Gasps from the crowd. My uncle stood up. My aunt grabbed her purse. Marcus continued in his professional tone. Vanessa Hayes Parker rented a P.O. box, submitted credit card applications using her sister's personal information, collected the cards, and made purchases totaling $187,000. We have video evidence, IP logs, and purchase location data confirming her activities. He displayed a photo of Vanessa at the post office. Richard Hayes forged his daughter's signature on 3 loan applications, depositing the funds, $142,000, into his personal accounts. We have forensic signature analysis confirming forgery. He showed the loan documents side by side with my real signature. Total fraudulent theft, $480,000. Combined with the legitimate support Jordan provided, her family has taken over $1 million from her while calling her a pretender and an embarrassment. Dad was shaking his head. This is insane. Jordan, you hired a PI to embarrass us.
No, Dad.
I hired a PI to expose you. There's a difference. Vanessa tried a different approach. We were going to pay you back. With what money? I asked. Your husband lost his job 18 months ago for billing fraud. You're 6 months behind on your mortgage. The bank is foreclosing. Your entire perfect life is a facade funded by my money and my stolen credit. Brett, who'd been silent in the corner, stood up. This is slander. It's documentation, Marcus corrected. Every claim I've made is supported by bank records, surveillance footage, forensic analysis, and transaction logs. Your wife committed multiple federal crimes. So did her father. My mother started crying. Jordan, please, we didn't mean to steal $500,000? Didn't mean to destroy my credit? Didn't mean to forge my signature? Which part was an accident, Mom? Marcus pulled out one more document. I've prepared a complete report for the FBI's Financial Crimes Division. Identity theft, wire fraud, mail fraud, and forgery are all federal offenses. Combined, they carry sentences of 5 to 10 years each. The FBI? Vanessa's voice was barely a whisper. Ms. Hayes has the option to file criminal charges. However, she wanted to give you the opportunity to understand the gravity of what you've done first. The backyard had emptied. Relatives and friends were making quiet exits, not wanting to be part of whatever came next. Only core family remained. Mom crying. Dad staring at the documents. Vanessa looking like she might throw up. Brett already on his phone, probably calling a lawyer.
And me.
Standing there, feeling nothing. Dad found his voice. Jordan, please. We're family. We can work this out. We'll pay you back. With what money? We'll sell the house. We'll set up payment plans. We'll do whatever it takes. The house you've been foreclosing on? The one I've kept afloat with my money while you called me an embarrassment. Vanessa was sobbing now.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Things got so bad, and I didn't know what to do, and Brett wasn't working, and the bills kept coming.
So, you stole from me.
While I was already giving you money. While calling me a pretender. Please don't file charges, Mom begged. Think of your nephews. Think of this family. I looked at her. Really looked at her. Did you know, Mom? Did you know they were stealing from me? She couldn't meet my eyes. I saw some receipts. I suspected. But I didn't want to believe. You knew. And you said nothing. You let them steal from me while I was supporting all of you. Marcus spoke quietly. Ms. Hayes, what would you like me to do with this report?
Everyone looked at me.
I thought about 5 years of being invisible. 5 years of sending money and being called an embarrassment. 5 years of my family stealing from me while pretending I was the failure. I'm not filing charges, I said finally. Vanessa sobbed with relief. Thank you. But I continued. I am done. Done sending money. Done being the family's secret ATM. Done being called an embarrassment while funding everyone's life. Jordan, we can fix this, Dad started.
No, you can fix this.
I'm stopping all financial support immediately. You have 30 days to figure out how to pay your own bills. After that, you're on your own. We'll lose everything, Mom whispered. Then you'll lose everything. Like I almost lost my credit, my financial security, my future. Except I'll rebuild. I have the skills, the income, the savings. What do you have? Silence. I looked at Vanessa. You're going to work with Marcus to set up a payment plan for the $480,000. Every dollar. With interest. If you miss a single payment, I file the FBI report immediately. I don't have that kind of money. Then get a job. Sell your stuff. Downsize. Do what everyone else does. Live within your means instead of mine. I looked at my parents. As for you two, you're going to publicly acknowledge what I did for this family. Tell everyone who thought I was pretending that I sent you $285,000 over 5 years. Tell them I kept you in this house. Tell them the truth. Jordan, that's humiliating.
Good.
I've been humiliated for 5 years. Now it's your turn. I picked up my purse. Marcus has all my contact information. Work with him on the payment plans and the credit repair. I'm done being part of this family until you prove you deserve to have me in it. I walked toward my car. Dad called after me. You're really going to destroy this family over money? I turned back.
No, Dad.
You destroyed this family when you stole from me while I was giving you everything. I'm just stopping the cycle of pretending everything's fine while you bleed me dry. We're still your family, Mom said desperately. Family doesn't steal $500,000 from each other. Family doesn't call you an embarrassment while living off your money. Family doesn't forge your signature and destroy your credit. You're not my family. You're criminals who happen to share my DNA. I got in my car and drove away. In my rearview mirror, I saw Marcus talking to FBI agents who'd been waiting around the corner. Just in case I changed my mind about filing charges. I didn't look back. It's been 7 months since the reunion. Here's where everyone stands. My parents sold their house. Moved into a small rental apartment. Dad got a part-time job at age 62. Mom works retail. They're struggling but managing. Vanessa and Brett are divorcing. She moved in with our parents. Got a job as a receptionist. She's making her fraud payments, $1,800 monthly for the next 22 years. Brett is facing separate legal issues for his billing fraud. Not my problem. I haven't spoken to any of them. They send emails occasionally. Apologies. Updates on payments. Requests to talk. I don't respond. But last week I got a letter. Dad's handwriting. Jordan, we told everyone the truth. About the money. About what we did. About how wrong we were. Uncle Jim said he always knew you were successful because you had that quiet competence. Aunt Sarah said she should have asked more about your work. The neighbors said they're not surprised you were the one keeping us afloat. Everyone sees you now. The way we should have seen you all along. I know sorry isn't enough. Sorry doesn't pay back $520,000. Sorry doesn't repair the damage. Sorry doesn't undo 5 years of theft and dismissal. But I'm sorry anyway. For not seeing you. For calling you an embarrassment. For stealing from you while you were saving us. You were never pretending to be successful. You were successful while we pretended you weren't, so we could feel better about taking your money. I don't expect forgiveness. But I wanted you to know. Everyone knows the truth now. And they're ashamed of us. As they should be. Your father, Richard. I put the letter in a folder with all the others. Evidence. Documentation.
Truth.
I'm not ready to respond. Maybe I never will be. But I'm content being Jordan. Just Jordan. The security director who learned that the people who call you a pretender are usually the ones pretending to be successful on your dime. And I'm done pretending any of it was okay. Here's what I learned. The people who accuse you of pretending are often the ones whose entire lives are a performance funded by your reality. For 5 years, I was told I was pretending to be successful, while sending my family $520,000, while they stole another $480,000, while my credit was destroyed and my trust was shattered. The truth is, I wasn't pretending anything. I was actually successful, while they pretended to be, using my money, my credit, my identity. My father said, "Stop pretending you're successful," at a family reunion, in front of 50 people, while standing in a house I'd paid to maintain, surrounded by furniture bought with my stolen credit, living a life funded by my silence. The irony would be funny if it hadn't cost them everything. But here's what I know now. I'm not defined by the people who couldn't see me. I'm not diminished by the family who dismissed me. I'm not less because they needed me to be less so they could feel like more. I don't know if I'll ever speak to my family again. I don't know if they'll ever truly understand what they did. I don't know if the relationships can ever be repaired. But I know this. I was never pretending. They were. And I'm finally free.